Hello friends, welcome back to Tech Solutions. In this video, we are going to cover more questions of AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. If you haven't watched our part 1 video where we covered more questions, then please find the link in the description and go through those questions. Friends, please subscribe our channel if you haven't done it and share our videos with your friends. Good luck for your Cloud Practitioner certification exam. You would like a serverless service to launch Docker containers with no infrastructure to provision. Which AWS service should you use? A. ECS, B. Fargate, C. ECR, D. Lambda. So the serverless service to launch the Docker containers. And the answer is B. Fargate. Remember, Fargate is a serverless service to launch Docker containers. How would you best describe event-driven in AWS Lambda? Option A, happens on a certain day. B, happens at a certain time. C, happens when needed. And D, happens on regular intervals. So, what is meant by event driven? And the answer is happens when needed. Whenever the event will happen, it will happen. It is going to run. That's the reason happens when needed, and rest are not going to fit here. RDS multi-agent deployment's main purpose is high availability, while RDS read replicas main purpose is scalability. And the options are true and false. So this statement is true. Because RDS multi-availability zone's main purpose is high availability. Yes, it's true. Half of the statement. Next statement is while RDS read replicas main purpose is scalability. Yes, we are having the read replicas for the scalability. That's why the answer is true. What is the name of the software development platform that allows you to run applications the same way regardless of where they are run? A. Dolphin, B. To-do container, C. ECS, and D. Docker. It is a software development platform which will allow us to run the application same way regardless of where they are running. And the answer is Docker. How do you get charged in AWS Lambda? A. Per programming language. B. Part number of functions. C. B is per number of functions actually. It's a typo. C. Per call per duration. D. Per inactive time. And the answer is per call per duration. That's how you get charged in AWS Lambda. Which one of the advantages of Amazon Relational Database Service? Amazon RDS. A. It simplifies relational database administration task. B. It provides 99.9 times 9% reliability and durability. C. It automatically scales databases for loads. D. It enabled users to automatically adjust CPU and RAM resources. So advantages of Amazon Relational Database Service. And the answer is option A. It simplifies relational database administration task. This is the correct answer. Rest are not going to fit here because it provides 99.99 reliability and durability. It's not advantage. Automatically scaling the database, it doesn't happen. Automatically it doesn't scales, and it enables users to dynamically adjust CPU and RAM resources. This is also not the correct answer here. Which AWS service should be used for read-write of constantly changing data? Choose two. We are going to write constantly changing data. So option A, Amazon RDS, B, Amazon Glacier, C, Amazon EFS, D, Amazon Redshift, E, AWS Snowball. Let's start with A, Amazon RDS. It looks correct answer because this is a relational database service and we are going to write constantly changing data. So this is correct answer here. So the next one, Amazon Glacier. This is incorrect because Glacier is for backing up the data, and data is not easily available, and we need here constantly changing the data, read and write. So B is wrong answer. Amazon EFS, this looks correct because file system, users can simply read write constantly here. So this looks correct. D, Amazon Redshift, this is for the data warehouse. So this is also not going to fit here. And AWS Snowball, this is absolutely wrong because we know that Snowball, we are copying the data at offsite. At on-site, we are copying the data and sending it to the AWS cloud. So option A and C is the correct answer. For which auditing process does AWS have sole responsibility? A, physical security, B, AWS Cloud Trail Logs, C, AWS IAM policies, D, Amazon S3 bucket policies. So AWS is responsible for option A, physical security. Rest, if you want, you can cross check it. AWS Cloud Trail Log is customer's responsibility. AWS IAM policies, again customer's responsibility, and Amazon S3 bucket policies, it's a customer responsibility too. That's why physical security is the correct answer. Which of the following is shared control between customer and AWS? Customer and AWS both are sharing the controls. A, provide a key for Amazon S3 client-side encryption. B, awareness and training. C, environmental controls of physical AWS data centers. D, configuration of Amazon EC2 instance. And the answer is awareness and training. This is the shared control between customer and AWS. Similarly, you can cross-check the other options why those are not correct. Option A, provide a key for Amazon S3 client-side encryption. This is customer's responsibility. C, environmental controls of physical AWS data centers. Here, AWS is responsible completely. D, configuration of an Amazon EC2 instance. Customer is responsible for configuring the Amazon EC2 instance. That's why B is the correct answer. The customer needs to run MySQL database that easily scales. Which AWS service should they use? Option A, Amazon Redshift. B, Amazon DynamoDB. C, Amazon Aurora. D, Amazon Elastic Cache. And the answer here is MySQL database that can easily scale Amazon Aurora, because Amazon Aurora is a AWS proprietary service for using the RDS databases, and we can use MySQL in Aurora that can be easily scaled. Okay, so why, if you are not sure about option C is correct or not, just check out option A, Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift is, guys, it's for data warehousing. We know that. That's why A is not the correct answer. Amazon DynamoDB. DynamoDB is NoSQL database. This is not the correct answer or fitting here, because we are looking for MySQL database to scale it automatically. And option D, Amazon Elastic Cache, it's totally different. We know that Elastic Cache is in memory database. That's why D is also not going to fit here. Answer C is the correct answer, Amazon Aurora. One of the advantages to moving infrastructure from an on-premises data center to an AWS cloud is option A, it allows business to estimate IT bills. B, it allows business to put a server in each customer's data center. C, it allows business to focus on business activities. D, it allows business to leave servers unpatched. So what is the advantage of moving from infrastructure to the on-premises data center to the AWS cloud? Option A, estimating bills, IT bills. No, that's not the correct one. B, allows the business to put a server in each customer's data center. That's also wrong. C, it allows business to focus on business activities. Yes, you can focus, business can focus on their activities, business activities, instead of spending time on maintaining IT infrastructure and different things, servers. So C looks correct. Option D, it allows the business to leave servers unpatched. That's absolutely wrong answer. That's why answer C is the correct here. What is the lowest cost durable storage option for retaining database backups for immediate retrieval? Option A, Amazon S3, B, Amazon Glacier, C, Amazon EBS, and D, Amazon EC2 Instance Store. And the answer here is lowest cost durable storage option to retain the database backups for immediate retrieval, Amazon S3. If you check, all the three are not lowest cost, plus we cannot retrieve them immediately in any of these. So Amazon S3 is the correct answer here. What is the example of agility in AWS Cloud? Option A, access to multiple instance type. Option B, access to managed services. C, using consolidated billing to produce one bill. D, decreased acquisition time for new computer resources. Meaning of agility in AWS Cloud, and the answer is decreased acquisition time for new computer resources. We can easily get the new computer resources very quick, and that's the example of agility, or in the AWS Cloud. Access to multiple instance types is not the agility here. Access to managed services, it's not agility again. Using consolidated billing, it's nowhere it's agility. Example of agility. Option D is the correct answer. How many availability zones should compute resources be provisioned across to achieve high availability? A, minimum of 1, B, minimum of 2, C, minimum of 3, D, minimum of 4 or more. So for high availability, answer is B, a minimum of 2. Nowadays there are 3, some people can put 3 as well, but the ideal answer is 2 here. Minimum of 2, actually minimum of 2. We are talking about the minimum for the high availability. That's why option B is the correct answer. Which of the following is fast and reliable NoSQL database? Option A, Amazon Redshift, B, Amazon RDS, C, Amazon DynamoDB, and D, Amazon S3. Read the word correctly. Fast and reliable NoSQL database. Fast and reliable plus NoSQL. Amazon Redshift is not the correct answer because it's a data warehouse. We cannot. Sorry. So it's not the correct one. Then Amazon RDS also, it's not for, this is for relational one. So this is also not the correct one. Amazon DynamoDB. This is a NoSQL database and fast and reliable one. That's why answer is C. And D. Amazon S3 is not the NoSQL database. Which service should a customer use to consolidate and centrally manage multiple AWS accounts? A. AWS IAM, B. AWS Organizations, C. AWS Schema Conversion Tool, D. AWS Config. So the option here, correct answer here is option B, AWS Organizations. Customer can use organization to consolidate and centrally manage their multiple AWS accounts in AWS Organizations. Which of the following services provide on-demand access to AWS security and compliance reports? A. AWS Artifact, B. AWS Trusted Advisors, C. AWS Cloud Trail, D. Amazon Inspector. So the access, on-demand access to AWS security and compliance reports. Remember, the answer here is AWS Artifact. Which feature of AWS allows an international company to provide low latency applications for its customers around the world? Feature. Option A, elasticity, B, fault tolerance, C, high availability, D, global reach. So it's a feature which will allow an international company to provide a low latency application for its customer around the world, and the answer is D, global reach. With a global reach, AWS allows an international company to provide a low latency applications for its customers around the world. Which tool can be used to view your AWS cost and usage of the past months and to get a better idea of what your reduced cost may look like in the future? The tool, option A, TCO calculator, which is total cost of ownership calculator, B, AWS Cost Explorer, C, AWS Budgets, D, Simple Monthly Calculator. Okay, here the correct answer is AWS Cost Explorer. Using AWS Cost Explorer, you can see the past months usage of your past month, as well as you can get the idea of your future months as well. You can check it how you're going to reduce the cost. You can get the better idea, for the future. That is AWS Cost Explorer, and it is 12 months ahead. You can do the check this next 12 months. Which AWS characteristics describe the ability to acquire resources as you need them and release the resources when you no longer need them? Option A, high availability. Option B, agility. Option C, elasticity. Option D, durability. And the answer is the characteristics which describes the ability to acquire the resources whenever you need it and release them whenever you don't need it. Correct answer is elasticity. Using elasticity is the characteristics which is ability to acquire the resources when you need them and you can release them when you don't need them. That's why the answer is elasticity. The company would like to set up a fully managed MongoDB database. Which AWS service is best suited for this task? Option A, DocumentDB, B, Elasticache, C, RDS, D, Neptune. Remember MongoDB database. Whenever MongoDB comes, remember the answer is always DocumentDB. So option A is correct here. Which AWS service can create complex graphs for fraud detection? Option A, Redshift. Option B, Neptune. Option C, QLDB. Option D, Glue. complex graphs for fraud detection. In AWS, there is a service which is Neptune for complex graphs. Remember, whenever there is a graph service in AWS, it's Neptune. That's why option B is the correct answer here. Which AWS service list service can use? Sorry, which AWS server list service can use machine learning powered business intelligence to create interactive dashboards such as business analytics? Answer A, QuickSight, B, Aurora, C, Athena, D, managed blockchain. So interactive dashboards for business analytics. The answer is option A, QuickSight. Remember, QuickSight is used to create interactive dashboards such as business intelligence. You would like to set up a NoSQL database that can scale with no downtime and can handle millions of requests per second. Which AWS database is best suited for this work? Option A, DynamoDB, B, RDS, C, Redshift, D, Athena. And see the important words: NoSQL database and can scale with no downtime and can handle the millions of requests per second. So the answer here is DynamoDB. DynamoDB is actually NoSQL database and it can scale with no downtime required and can handle the millions of requests per second. That's why DynamoDB is the correct answer. You can cross check with B, C and D why they are not fitting here. So RDS is again relational database, so it doesn't fit here because it's not NoSQL. Redshift, again this is for the data warehousing, not NoSQL, and cannot scale with no downtime. Athena, this is a SQL service, which is also not the correct answer. That is the reason DynamoDB is the correct answer, fits here. Which exclusive DynamoDB feature is in-memory caching that can improve your performance up to 10x? Option A, Elastic Cache. Option B, Edge Locations. C, DynamoDB Accelerator, and D, Snowball Edge. And the answer here is the DynamoDB feature in memory caching that improve our performance by 10x is option C, DynamoDB Accelerator. Remember, with DynamoDB you can use DynamoDB Accelerator, which is in memory caching, and this will help us to improve our performance by 10x. So DynamoDB and DynamoDB Accelerator. That's why answer is DynamoDB Accelerator here. A company needs to run thousands of jobs but would like to not manage the compute resources. What service it can use? A, ECS, B, batch, C, easy to spot instances, D, EC2 instances. So running thousands of jobs but don't want to manage the compute resources. Thousands of jobs, and the answer is batch. In a batch you can run thousands of jobs and you don't need to worry about managing the compute resources. ECS is not the correct answer here because you need to manage the compute resources, and it's totally different, and it's talking about the thousands of jobs. Okay, next, easy to spot instances. This is something not relevant here. EC2 instance, again it's a hardware maintenance and a lot of things comes into the picture. So B, batch is the correct answer. Where should you store your private Docker images? So they can be run by ECS or Fargate. So when you have your private Docker images, you have to in ECS and Fargate, you need something to run it. And where do you want to, where should you can do that? So option A, Elastic Docker Registry. Number B, Elastic Docker File Registry. C, Elastic Private Container Registry. And D, Elastic Container Registry. Whenever you store your private Docker images to run either by ECS or a Fargate, you need to register it. And the answer is, just read all these options carefully and then only answer it. Answer is D, ECR, Elastic Container Registry. You need to register it in the Elastic Container Registry. So remember this. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding the definition of term serverless? A, serverless allows you to deploy functions as a service. B, there are no servers. C, you don't need to manage servers. And D, Lambda is the serverless pioneer. Read the question carefully. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding definition of serverless? A, serverless allows you to deploy functions as a service. Is it incorrect? No, it's correct actually. Okay, so that's why A is not the correct answer. There are no servers. It looks correct answer here, but actually it's incorrect. And we need to find the incorrect statement. Okay, incorrect statement regarding serverless. Serverless doesn't mean that there are no servers. There are servers and AWS is managing it. So this look correct. So I'm just going to mark it, but select it. But let's see C and D. You don't need to manage servers. That is also not going to fit here, because there means AWS is managing those servers. And D, Lambda is the pioneer of serverless. Lambda is the serverless pioneer. Is it incorrect? No, it's actually correct. Lambda is the serverless pioneer. Okay, so this is about the serverless term. So that's why D is also not there, but the correct answer is there are no servers. Which of the following statement is not a feature of AWS Lambda? Not a feature of AWS Lambda. A, integration with whole AWS suite of services. B, virtual functions. C, definition of minimum and maximum of EC2 instance running. D, automated and continuous scaling. Okay, suppose you don't know the answer of this. Let's go one by one. Option A. Before that question, statement is not a feature of AWS Lambda. Integration with the whole AWS suite of services. Yes, it is actually. Okay, so it integration with whole AWS suite of services. So this is not the answer. Okay, remember. B, virtual functions. Yes, actually AWS Lambda is a virtual functions. So this is also not not going to fit here, and we have to find the feature which the statement which is not a feature here. C, definition of a minimum and maximum of EC2 instance running, and this looks the correct answer here. We don't know whether how many EC2 instances are running behind, whether these minimum will run or these maximum will run. As a user, we don't know anything about it. Definition of minimum and maximum of EC2 instance running, this is the correct answer here, because we have to find the statement which is not a feature of AWS Lambda. So this is not a feature of AWS Lambda. Let's see the next one. Automated and continuous scaling. This fits. Okay, For AWS Lambda, it will be automatically and continuously scaling. You can add the load and it will start running by increasing continuously scaling. So this is the reason this is also not fit here. Correct answer is definition of minimum and maximum of EC2 instances running. Which AWS service allows you to launch Docker containers on AWS but requires you to provision and maintain infrastructure? Okay, let's read the options. A. ECR, B. EC2, C. ECS, D. Fargate. Read it carefully. Allows you, the service which allows you to launch Docker containers. Okay, there are two services which allows us to launch Docker containers. Using this, but first half of the statement, we can see that the answer is either Fargate or ECS, not EC2 and ECR. ECR is a container registry and EC2 is a EC2 machine. So either ECS or Fargate. Using the first statement, we can say, so A and B is out from our options list. C and D, ECS and Fargate, but requires you to provision and maintain the infrastructure. Now ECS and Fargate. Fargate is a serverless, so we don't need to provision and maintain the infrastructure using Fargate. Correct answer is ECS. Yes, using ECS we have to provision and maintain the infrastructure while launching the Docker containers on AWS, and that is the reason answer is C, ECS.